Etsy news. What's been happening in the world of Etsy? And in this episode, we'll be talking about GSPR tariffs. Is Etsy telling people not to buy internationally? The quarterly report is coming out, and my friend Starla and myself are newsworthy this episode. All that and more. So let's dig into it. First, a little thing I'm seeing when you're creating your customs form, we're now seeing an optional section to be able to put in the country of origin. Some people are saying this isn't new, but I've definitely not seen it before, and lots of people are saying they haven't either. So maybe it was something in other countries, but yes, this is probably Etsy protecting their backs for when the tariffs come in, because they're wanting to be able to say, like, if something's coming from China or Hong Kong. The Etsy newsletter was out last week. I am a little bit late. Missed last week because sun was out and I was doing some aggressive working and gardening. So there's spring and summer trend report out if anybody's interested in that. It really seems to follow on. They're talking about quite a lot of what Pinterest predicted at the start of the year. So from following years from now on, I'll just be looking at what Pinterest says, because they've got it all. And then introducing a new and visually engaging browsing experience. So US browsers can now browse curated collections on the Etsy app based on trends, aesthetics, and occasions. So something more new for US buyers. So I can't see this because I'm not a US buyer, but if you've got it, have a look. Let me know if you think it's any good. And there is an upcoming event for, it's been, I'll have to go and have a look at it. It's been a long couple of weeks, but there was a trending for spring and summer. So if you find trends important for you, then you can go up and watch the replay of that. So the Etsy apps page, this was last week, 2 weeks ago now, actually, all over Etsy. Etsy have been pushing their apps page. They've redesigned it. So they're saying we're making it easier than ever to quickly find third-party apps. I don't see it. It's what it was before, but they're bringing it out to the forefront. I did, because I also work for eRank, found it rather cool that they were showing eRank front and center here. We're showing as popular with Etsy sellers, with the first app showing up there, and in all their showing the mobile and everything, it was showing eRank. So that was cool. But anyway, you can see all of the different apps. This is things that Etsy believe will be helpful for your business. I think only 2 of them they're actually partnered with. But yeah, it's handy to have a look so you can see what potentially are good apps for you. As I said, we've got the marketplace insights, the spring and summer trends. So it's worth having a look at, but a lot of people like, what am I supposed to do with this? Quite a lot of you, if you have a strong aesthetic, a strong niche, you don't necessarily have to do anything with it. But if your items can be like decor or something, it might be fun to know what's trending, to know how to dress your set, to take your lifestyle pictures and things. It might give you fun ideas, some inspiration. But generally, most of us aren't going to be following the trends 100%. It's just nice to keep an eye out so we can, see what's going on. And if something inspires you, even better. So GSPR, there's definitely been changes. I will go into all of that in another video because there's quite a lot. Still not, I'll be honest, I am still not shipping to the EU and Northern Ireland. I'm very sorry to say that, but it's still not clear enough, easy enough, or financially worth it for me currently. But Etsy have added sections to, you can add things to make you compliant or more compliant. So GPSR, I always say it the wrong way, manufacturer and safety information. Now, this is the interesting things. If you're a trader and selling to European Economic States or Northern Ireland. Now, trader, Etsy still doesn't have a definition for that, but they are making it sound a little more like most of us probably aren't, but we don't know. I'm running it on the side of caution to say I would be considered a trader. There's a chance that it's only for really big shops, or if you've like registered fully as a company, which I know in some places, like I think in America, you have to register as a company, whereas in the UK, you don't necessarily have to. You can identify as a sole trader or all sorts of other things. You do need to tell customs, by the way, if you are selling on Etsy, and if you're making more than £1,000 in a year, you will have to pay taxes on it. Well, you will have to declare it, and that will get sorted if you need to pay taxes. But anyway, so you may need to include manufacturer and safety info for listings added after the 13th of December. There's a little more to it than that, but if your listings are physical items, and I think digital items, but if your listings are ready made and they were listed before the 13th of December, I believe you don't see this extra area pop up. If you live in the EU or your items are custom made or they were listed after this date, you will see this pop up. So you can add the manufacturer and the product safety information. Again, it's still not really clear 100% what we have to do for the product safety information. I've spoke to many experts in it, and it does sound like it's probably not too difficult. It's what you should be doing already. Like when you've created your thing, it's like keep away from fire, keep away from children. You shouldn't have batteries and stuff in it, but if you did, how would you dispose of these type of things? But yeah, I can't tell you how you're supposed to do that, but there's updated things, and I will in a separate video go into this, but Etsy is making it easier. They've even partnered with a couple of companies to be your approved representative in these areas. It depends how much you sell as to whether that's worth it. News. So firstly, my friend Starla Moore did, if you don't know, she did a survey and had over 3,500 Etsy sellers answer her survey, which everyone who answered, thank you so much, because that gives, the more people we have, the better data we have. And so she, loads of questions. There were some real surprises in the answers for all of us when we checked over this. So you want to check out her report. It's a big one, but it's well worth it. It's very in depth. Supporting our global community as trade policies evolve. There's been a lot of chatter in the news. This is a Josh Silverman article. Well, it says Josh Silverman's name. Don't know who wrote it, but this is an article where people are reporting this as to say that Josh is to say you want to buy domestic, basically, which to an extent I sort of can see happening. It's very sad, but I feel the world's getting much, much bigger, and that exciting thing about being able to ship to every corner of the planet is, it's kind of going away. But yes, in this article, Josh did say to make shopping domestic even easier, we're surfacing new ways for you to discover businesses in their country. So it feels like it's going to be easier to find things in your own country. But I was just thinking there used to be, anyone who was on Etsy for a long time, on the very front page, there used to be a little bit of shop local or something where you could find sellers in your city and stuff. And that was actually quite cool, because even back then, right, people say back in the day, now I started selling in 2008, people say, oh, it was so easy, Etsy wasn't saturated. It was still huge. It was still overwhelming to find anything. So most of the time when I shopped on Etsy, I would either do the shop local to find people that way. I would pounce, which was a rotating carousel they had of like new stuff where you could just go, oh, that's just posted. Let's grab that. Or most importantly, in the in the seller forums, there was chat rooms where you could go in, talk to people and stuff, and generally get to see other people's products in a nice way. And I would buy most of my items like that. I very rarely bought things from search. So anyway, that was a little side quest. I'm easily distracted. Um, I'm news, I suppose, a little bit. I was interviewed by Bloomberg. I was interviewed for a very long period of time, and I spoke mainly about other sellers and like my work in YouTube and my work with eRank. But they just talked about me as a seller, so I do apologize. I had plenty of rants, but I only got two quotes just saying basically customers might be getting angry, getting hit with the tariffs, that suddenly prices will be increased for them. And very much there's the fear that things will slow down. If suddenly everything has to have tariffs, everything will get stopped at customers. This is the US. So shipping might take a lot longer. So that's just a couple of fears that Bloomberg made an article with me. Um, but yes, I tried to speak out on your behalf. They just wanted to speak out on my behalf, but I tried anyway. So there's that. And April the 30th, Etsy will be announcing the first quarter financial results. It's like Etsy knew. I'm going away for a couple of days. I'm going to be trying to help my mum move house and have a little break and stuff as well. So I won't be available to do the usual breakdown of the financial results. So please, if everybody could wait a week or two, and I'll get some good results there. But April the 30th, so 10 days from day of recording, and yeah, we'll find out. The news cycle isn't really talking much about what they expect from Etsy. I don't think it's going to be great. Let me know what you think. Do you think the first quarter financial results are going to be any good? I'm not seeing it from how people are talking about their sales, how my sales are going, but let me know. Anyway, that's it for this week. Unless I've missed anything, let me know, and I will see you next time.